And hello, everybody, and welcome to the Grove. Today, we are going to be discussing how to tame our reactive mind. And of course, I'll get into it a little bit more, pardon me, as later on in the program. Anyway, again, I am really glad that you were here joining us today. I feel that our community grows as we all participate as well as expanding our consciousness, which is what our goal is here on this particular program, as well as within my community throughout all the social media places. Um, anyway, so I want to check something here. So just give me one moment to make sure we are a go on all the technical aspects. I just had to update something and just am making sure we are going. Yes, we are good. Anyway, so as usual, I do like to start the program with an invocation to the goddess. So if you would like to join me, you can close your eyes as we invoke the Great Mother. O great goddess, Lady of the night and the silvery moon, she whom is the darkness and the light that shines through it. Hail to thee, great Lady of the moon, and hear us, your children, as we ask of your divine presence here within our sacred circle of light, where we have come to partake of the great beauty, strength, and wisdom that lies within each and every one of us. So be it, blessed be. Welcome. So, today, for today's reading from the Book of One, I tried to find readings that kind of lean into the topic, the discussion topic that I'm going to be covering today. And on for this week, I decided to go on and choose chapter 12 on the Book of One. In case y'all do not have my book, yes, it's available on Amazon and other major booksellers. Just go online, or you can go to my website and look for it. But anyway, so chapter 12 is called Beyond Perception. And I thought this would really, again, lean into the topic of our discussion today of how to tame the reactive mind. See through the veil of lies, go beyond what is evident. There you shall find truth. Accept what is only physically evident, and you will lose sight of what is truth. Truth being one being all being one. And with that, I'm going to give you a moment to contemplate that. If you would like to join me for our minute meditation, just to kind of ground, slow down our thoughts. So, why don't you join me? Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and I'll be back in just a minute. Breathing in, I am calm. Breathing out, I am in peace. Listen to. So before we get into our discussion today, let me say hello to a few of you that I see have popped in on our chat. I want to say hello to Paul over there on YouTube. Good to see you. Hi, Paul. And Lou is also saying hello on YouTube. Thank you for being here. And hello to Kathy on Facebook. Good to see your face again here. Um, Today's topic, as we said, actually was inspired by a question that one of you all posed to me last week, which unfortunately we don't have the time to get to all the questions. But someone had asked something about how to control their reactive mind. How do they control their reactions or whatnot? And I really connected with that, not only from my own spiritual practices, whether it be meditation or whatnot, reacting to the sounds that you might hear while you're meditating, but also in life in general. The goal of, I would hope, the goal in most of our lives is to remain centered, remain grounded in all situations. I know that's my goal. So today we are going to be talking on several techniques that can help you tame the reactive mind. Please note that I am sharing my experience. This is not in any way, shape, or form approaching it from a psychologist point of view or a psychiatric point of view or anything like that. I'm approaching this from a metaphysical and consciousness point of view, as well as my personal experience. So let's talk about what is the reactive mind. And I know there's some organizations out there that have coined the term, um, and I believe actually in psychology we're starting to utilize it. But so the reactive mind. So picture this: you're having a great day, right? You're having a great day. Everything's going along great. You go out to your car. You put the key into the ignition. You're getting ready to go to work or go shopping, wherever it is, and the car doesn't start. What happens? Immediately you react. If you're like me, you begin to panic a little bit. You begin to try to fix the situation, get angry at the situation, do everything we can to fix the situation immediately. That is your initial reaction. The same thing can be said when dealing with family members or loved ones or neighbors or whatnot that have perhaps upset you in one way or another. When your ego gets bruised, we all have what I have one. My ego gets bruised once in a while as well. And our brain has this way of reacting with anger, reacting with sadness, taking it all very personally. And that happens to be a key on how to tame the reactive mind. So, what is the reactive mind? In my experience, I find that the reactive mind kind of comes, and what am I saying? It does come from that fight or flight reaction that our brain has. A lot of times when we go into reactive mode, it usually comes from and the experience of perhaps a particular trauma or life experience. And, let's face it, it's a bit of a trigger. Something happens in our life that reminds us of something that went badly in the past. And immediately our reactive mind seems to take over and play out the same exact scenario that perhaps you may have experienced in the past. For example, um, oh, I don't know, your boyfriend's hanging out with a girl that you don't care for, and maybe you're thinking that he's cheating on you. You're reacting to him hanging out with this person because perhaps you've been cheated on in the past. In other words, reactions are usually subconscious programs that we've allowed to come and live within our consciousness. The reactive mind usually will act um, rash. It will act rash, and it will act in a way that is not necessarily in your best interest or in the interest of others. Um, I mean, I could just go on and list the types of things that cause me to go into reactive mind, and I'm sure you have plenty as well. But the question here is today, how do we tame the reactive mind? Well, the first thing I will say, well, let me ask you, when you are brought into a situation, when a situation is presented to you by your life around you, which has jarred you in a certain way, and you go into a state of reaction or panic or you know et cetera, what do you immediately try to do? In most cases, many of us will try to push away those thoughts. In most cases, uh, immediately we want to try to calm down. When I say we immediately try to calm down, we immediately take steps to push away those reactive, spinning, anxious, out of control thoughts, as well as taking actions to rectify the situation that we are reacting to. That's not to say that the reactive mind doesn't have a place. Again, stemming from that, flight or fight instinct within us, there is a place for it. You stick your hand on a hot burner, you're going to react and go, ow, 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 and you're going to, of course, you're going to do something to, I don't know, medicate the burn or treat the burn and whatnot. Your child gets hurt, of course, you're going to react to comfort your child, help your child, and whatnot. So there is a place for the reactive mind. Our biggest issue as human beings, especially those of us who follow a spiritual path or a mindfulness path, metaphysical path, mental path, is that we see the reactive mind as an enemy, that it is something that needs to be controlled. We resist the reactive mind. That is the number one mistake that we can do. That's the number one mistake that we can do. As in many things that we talk about here on this particular program and in the consciousness community, the reactive mind would fall under what we would call a part of the shadow self, for example. We always talk about making friends with the shadow self. Stop trying to push away the shadow self. The reactive mind falls under that umbrella. It is a natural instinct. It is a part of who we are. It is not something to be resisted and pushed away, because what happens when you try to push away those reactive thoughts? They get stronger. We have this ability to kind of begin to spin, mentally spin out of control. The thoughts become more and more out of control until we lose all, and I hate to use the word control, we lose all peace of mind during this thought process. We can end up with anxiety. We can end up with panic attacks. We can end up making rash decisions, which only make the situation worse. So the first thing that for me, have come to learn is to not resist the reactive mind. When the reactive mind is playing, when it's being called up by my body and my mind, um, to react to something that happened to me externally, instead of me going, oh gosh, I got to make these thoughts go away, I'm like, okay, these thoughts are here. My mind is reacting. And it's definitely easier said than done. It takes practice. And the first thing that we can do, besides not resisting the reactive mind, is say, ah, there's the reactive mind. One of the latest tricks that I've been utilizing for myself, and this was actually offered to me by someone that I'm working with, they said, the next time something like that happens, why don't you, using whatever phrases work for you, say something like, I know my mind is trying to protect me, Thank you for trying to protect me, but I don't need you to do that right now. This is not a life and death situation. This is just something that perhaps you think you need to help me with, but right now you don't. I'm elaborating a little bit longer on that than what I normally would say. Basically, at this point, I just say, "Thank you, reactive mind, but I'm okay." And just tell it to chill out. Remember, um, I don't want to say that we are always in control of our thoughts. However, when that stream of consciousness is trying to grasp a hold of you, if you can catch it before it completely takes over your thought process, you have a much better chance of having those reactive, panicky, anxious thoughts kind of put aside. The next thing I want to talk about with the reactive mind is, so we're talking about the thoughts, right? We just talked about thoughts. Well, now let's talk about actions. When we are in a reactive state, we of course want to fix everything. But what happens when you aren't thinking clearly? What happens when you act on something when you're not necessarily clear? How many times have you, including myself, how many times have I sent out the angry text when it was unnecessary? How many times have I confronted someone for something that was not necessarily called for? Uh, we can make our life much worse if we react, if we act through the reactive mind. Again, I'm not saying the reactive mind doesn't have a place to, you know, treat a burn or treat your child that's being hurt. Of course, that of course is a legitimate reason to react in a state of panic. But even in that, learning not to act reactively, get it? Learning not to act reactively is going to simplify our life and remove so many heartaches and obstacles and will not make the particular situation worse. One of the things, and it's interesting, I got it in my life, I did it backwards. I learned a long time ago when I'm in reactive mind to not do anything. Um, so while I might be presenting this uh, as part two, it was part one in my practice many years ago. But the point is that by not, what I would do, again, let me share my experience. What I would do is, okay, I'm in reactive mind. I better not say anything. I better not do anything. And what I do for me is I begin to meditate, pray, contemplate. But my mantra is, I begin to meditate with the mantra of give me clarity, give me discernment, give me, show me the path forward to make the right decision in this situation. And I will not act until I feel confident, until I am aware that this will be in the best interest of everyone involved. And it may take a few hours, it may take a few days before I do any action on anything, but that's absolutely fine. You're better off doing nothing and nothing being resolved than acting in a reactive nature and making things so much worse. And then I think the most important thing, and last but not least, as far as like part three of this, is the idea of your spiritual practice. I have found that, well, let me go back a little bit and share a little bit of my last several months with you. Many of you know that I went through a very traumatic situation earlier this year. Living with an alcoholic and an addict can be very traumatizing. And yes, talk about living in reactive mind. But unfortunately, during that era, my meditation practice was kind of thrown by the wayside. I was too distracted. I was too scattered, too worried, too concerned. Concerned for my friend's health, concerned for the well-being of my home. So I was in a state of reaction the whole time. So unfortunately, my meditation practice kind of suffered through all of this. In the last month or so, I have brought my meditation practice back in, and I am seeing immediate results. Even with a short 15-minute meditation in the morning, I like to start my morning by reading something spiritual, something self-helpy, something to feed my mind. So I like to feed my mind in the morning by reading a page or two out of a book that I'm reading. And when I'm done with that, what I'll do is I'll do my meditation. And just kind of my morning meditation consists of uh, quieting my mind, allowing myself to, it's almost like performing Reiki on myself, allowing the light to come into my head, feel my body. And my mantra during my meditation is to tell the universe, allow me to be an instrument of light, allow me to be an instrument of clarity, allow me to be an instrument of healing, and to just allow that light to move through me. Now, your meditation may be completely different, and that's fine. However, I will say that there is something to be said for an ongoing meditation practice when it comes to uh, taming the reactive mind. The reactive mind is not our enemy. It is up to us to allow it to exist, but allow it to exist in the way that it is meant to exist, that is to help us. The reactive mind can be helpful. When the reactive mind is not helpful is when it controls your thoughts, when it controls your actions, and when it leads you down a path that causes even more despair, and creating, you know, crappy situations for you and the people in your life. So, to review, I will say the reactive mind is your friend. Don't resist it. Try not to control it, but also try to make it your friend. Let the reactive mind know, I don't need you right now. If it's really not needed, um, as well. Let's bring meditation back into the picture for ourselves. It is very much a part of maintaining a grounded and clear view of the world around us, a view of our life, and it's quite all right to allow yourself those moments to not do anything until you know exactly what it is you need to do. Give yourself permission to acknowledge I'm in a reactive state. I'm not going to do anything. I am just not going to do anything. You will find that your life will become easier, and you will thank yourself later after you see what the fruits of these efforts have brought you. So, with that said, it is time for our intention, our spell for the day, and I thought we would all do the same spell today. And that intention, I hope you'll join me. You are more than welcome to do the intention of your liking to bring in something in your life that you need. But I thought, wouldn't it be great if we all did the same intention of I have a calm mind that is proactive. I have a calm mind that is proactive. That will be the mantra of the intention. So if you would like to join me, please close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, breathing in through your nose, filling your belly, pause, and exhale. Allowing the mind to quiet down, taking another deep breath in, feeling your belly, pausing and exhaling. Now, what I'd like you to do is begin to repeat in your mind, I am calm, I have a proactive mind. I am calm, I have a proactive mind. I am calm, I have a proactive mind. Continue repeating that. And as you continue to repeat that, I would like you to see yourself in a situation. It could be one from the past that you've seen that you went into reactive mind. It could be car problems, kid problems, family problems, but allow yourself to see yourself in a scene dealing with one of these reactive situations. And now that we have a picture of that, I again want you to continue to repeat, I am calm. I have a proactive mind. And begin to see yourself in that situation calm, clear, with your mind not reacting, with you not reacting. See yourself in that situation, assessing, observing in a peaceful state, in a calm state, in a relaxed state. In this situation, I am calm and I have a proactive mood. And notice how you feel so happy that you're not freaking out. Notice how you feel more relaxed, even though there's chaos ensuing around you at that moment. And notice how grateful you are you didn't react. Feel the gratitude you have for not reacting in that situation. And we'll repeat it 3 more times. I am calm. I have a proactive mind. I am calm. I have a proactive mind. I am calm. I have a proactive mind. And as we do will it, so mote it be. Blessed be. Well, thank you, everyone. I hope these tips and tricks have will help you to tame your reactive mind when and if it occurs. Please remember that you are allowed to not do anything, and as in the intention, hold on to that thought form and see yourself in that thought form, that space that you created just now. The next time something like that comes around. Um, as usual, I have no idea what the show will be about next week, but I do thank you for being here and being a part of the Grove. Thank you for being a part of my community, a part of my life. For the last 16 years, yesterday was the actual anniversary of my YouTube channel that launched this whole social media presence and doing everything that I can with all of you to make the world a better place and to help us all each grow more empowered, more aware in our own conscious mind and in our own personal lives. If you can, please remember you can become a Patreon patron as well. You can become a supporter on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel. I thank you so much for supporting me. And let's do our closing affirmation, which we did, which happens to go with today's talk. We didn't do it last week or so. I still haven't memorized the words, so I have to read it. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Be gone from me, worry and woe. I have the strength to break free and the wisdom to know. As I breathe in this sacred day, my calm will grow. I call upon my inner guides to help me take it slow. My serenity and tranquility will overflow with harm to none, blessings to all. So mote it be, blessed be. I love you. Have a wonderful week ahead. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.